Luke chapter 21, verse 20. But when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, then know that its desolation is near. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let those who are in the midst of her depart, and let not those who are in the country enter her. For these are the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. Now, verse 24. And they will fall by the edge of the sword, and be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem will be trampled by Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. These words were spoken by Jesus. Jesus prophesying here about the fall of Israel that would come about in the future. He foretold that when Jerusalem was captured a second time, it would be destroyed. This would come about because the Israelites rejected Jesus and rejected God. God had said that if they rebelled against him, they would eat the flesh of their sons and their daughters. They would be scattered throughout the world. Their land would become desolate, and he would draw out a sword after them. And it happened just as he had said. Here, Jesus prophesied once more about this matter that would take place about 40 years after his time. As he prophesied in this way, here it says, "But when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, then know that its desolation is near." And then what would happen to Jerusalem? And they will fall by the edge of the sword, and be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem will be trampled by Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. So, what does it mean when it says here, until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled? This is the 7-year tribulation. So when did the times of the Gentiles begin? It was about 600 BC. That was when Jerusalem was destroyed the first time. Then there was the second destruction of Jerusalem, and in the future, it will be destroyed a third time. So the times of the Gentiles began from the first time Jerusalem was destroyed. Then, when will the times of the Gentiles come to an end? That will be here. Here. How will it come to an end? It will come about with Jesus' second coming. Jesus rose from the dead and ascended into heaven. And when he comes again, the times of the Gentiles will come to an end. From that time on, for 1,000 years, Jesus will rule over the whole world from Jerusalem. And the time will come again for Israel. So the times of the Gentiles come to an end here. And here in verse 24 it says, "And they will fall by the edge of the sword, and be led away captive into all nations." And be led away captive into all nations. They were taken away as captives in AD 70. And Jerusalem will be trampled by Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. As I said before in 1967, Jerusalem was returned to Israel. Jerusalem was returned to Israel. Before that time, Jordan, then known as Transjordan, had seized East Jerusalem, including the Old City, which, long before, had been the location of the temple. But in 1967, the Israeli army retook Jerusalem. It may seem that this marked the end of the times of the Gentiles, but this was not yet the case. Let me explain why. Right in the middle of Jerusalem is the place where Solomon had built the temple. It's also called Mount Zion. That is the site on which Solomon's temple was built. But now there are 2 mosques that have been built there. The 2 mosques that are currently there are the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Mosque of Omar. But the day when these mosques are completely demolished and the Temple of Israel is rebuilt, the territory will truly fall under the possession of Israel. The preparation to build the temple is well underway, but the mosques have yet to be demolished. Since Israel took the whole of Israel back in 1967, this is evidence that the end of the times of the Gentiles has drawn near. There is one more point we can gather from this. The Israelites are returning to their land. What is the significance of the Israelites returning to their fatherland? It means that the time for Jesus Christ to return to this world is almost here. Then the time will come for Jesus to reign, a time of perfect peace, when there will be no sin. At that point, this present period of sin will come to an end. So the return of the Israelites to their land is an extremely important incident. It isn't a trivial matter. Israel has become an independent nation, but there are still many Israelites scattered across the world. I don't know the precise numbers, but there are at present about 6 million Jews living in the United States, and there are still many living in South America. Most of those who are living in Russia have now returned.